Hello and welcome to a new episode of Copperberg Conversations on Manufacturing Matters. I'm Nina Roper-Yearwood, coming to you from Germany. Whether you're listening while commuting, enjoying your coffee break, or just winding down for the day, I'm so glad to have you here. In today's episode, I'm bringing you along for a look back at the eConnect 2025 Power of 50, which took place last February in Cologne. We gathered at the Marriott Hotel with 50 e-commerce professionals for a full day of learning, sharing, and making connections. The big theme was transforming e-commerce for continuous growth. How to enhance your B2B digital journey. So pour yourself a cup, settle in, and let's rewind to that day in February. Over the next few minutes, you'll hear some of the best moments, from interviews with delegates, partners, and speakers, to highlights of the discussions that kept everyone talking. Now let's hear directly from the people who made the day so engaging. During the breaks, I had the chance to chat with some delegates about what really resonated with them. First up, we have Augusti Koivisto, Head of Parts Business Development at Kalmar Global. He shares what brought him to the event and his favorite part of that packed agenda.
I'm interested in hearing more about e-commerce in like industrial B2B companies, and I've been working with e-commerce in the past, so really much looking into these kind of insights and discussions.
And just to close this conversation, was there anything today that got you excited?
I think overall the roundtables are a really good place to discuss things and also benchmark a bit with others. Okay, where are we and share the best practices. I think that's the best part.
And finally, you'll hear from Sven Klopman, Head of After Sales Excellence at Ammann Asphalt. One of the keynotes that really got people talking was about digital nudges, those small, well-placed prompts that help guide customers through the online buying process. It's about making it easier and more intuitive to take the next step, especially in complex B2B journeys. In this next clip, Sven shares why that topic hit home for him and why it's so relevant to his own projects.
Looking for insights on how we can approach creating spare part manuals, creating web shop situations, and I was really inspired by, for example, the notches Tanya presented, how we can influence customers in a light way to change their decisions about purchasing.
And that concludes our brief conversation with the delegates. Let us now move on to the interviews we did with our event speakers and partners. So we ended earlier with a short interview with Mr. Klopman, who shared why he found the topic of digital nudges relevant in his WebHub project. Moving on, you will hear from the keynote speaker, Tanya Chesh, Digital Transformation Manager at Roehm, who delivered the presentation on this very topic of using digital nudges in B2B e-commerce. In the next clip, she gives us an overview of her keynote and her thoughts on the event.
Our customers in B2B, they want to be able to sleep at night, and they want to make their decisions quick and easily. And in order to help our customers sleep at night, what we can support them with is on-demand services in the B2B space, and we can help them with digital nudging in order to make the best decisions possible for their businesses. And that's really what my keynote focused around today. So, digital nudging. I loved it. There's very few venues that I find where people are really open and honest and talking about the challenges that we face in the B2B space. And so for me, the biggest takeaway is really to learn that we all face the same challenges with data silos within organizations, and that we have to dive into those digital silos in order to learn more about our customers and find the best solution. So the open and honesty is just a huge part of this event that I really appreciate.
Now let's hear from Julia Rabkin, Senior Manager of Product Marketing at commercetools. If you were there, you will remember her now famous line, "No one is getting younger except the B2B buyer." She said this while exploring trends shaping B2B commerce in 2025. Here, she shares her main takeaways and what stood out from the day's conversations.
Key takeaways from my keynote would be that customer centricity is more than just your buyer, right? Being customer-centric is really about diffusing that customer centricity throughout your organization and making sure that all of your teams are enabled to serve that customer and their best interests. The other key takeaway is that I think of all the trends shaping the future of commerce, I think this year unified commerce is going to be the big trend. And this is really about harmonizing all of your commerce and operations data to be able to make better decisions based on the right data and a complete view of your customers, your products, your channels, and everything in one place. Today was a very intense day, but it was really insightful. At our roundtables, we asked about what people are hopeful for looking into 2025 and what they are challenged by or concerned by. And I think while there are still a lot of challenges, there are also a lot of opportunities. There's really great momentum, and I was very inspired hearing from the practitioners today about some of the things that they're trying and the experiments that they're doing and the new technologies that they're using to really advance their innovation in B2B commerce. So I'm very optimistic for the future.
Up next is Ammann Mahmoud, Director of E-commerce and Distribution at Schneider Electric. He grabbed everyone's attention with a statement: B2B customers do demand a B2C experience, but not in the literal sense. This was the foundation for his keynote on elevating the B2B buyer journey. Let's hear his overview and reflections on the event.
We talked about B2B customers wanting a B2C experience. I think it resonated quite well with a lot of the people. And in fact, when I asked for a show of hands, everyone raised their hand, right? So I think the key takeaway there is that we are not alone. It's everyone in the B2B space is having the same problem, and we are working towards the solution together to solve it, right? Which means we can also learn a lot from each other in this journey. I think it's an amazing event, very different from the others that I've attended, in the sense that it's a small, closely knit group, and you are interacting or engaging a lot in roundtables, and then you have keynotes and panel discussions. It's not monologue. I would say it's very, very interactive, and at the end of the day, you get to know everyone in the room, which is probably the best part.
Moving on, we'll now listen to roundtable moderators who will share with us an insider's perspective on what happened during their 5 rounds of brainstorming. First up is Cliff Gijsat, Regional Manager, DACH and Spain at Covio. He'll share the big ideas they unpacked at his table, which centered on this question: how can AI-powered personalization boost the B2B online buying experience?
Companies are really getting into how to use AI, how to leverage AI to provide actual value and return on investment. I think one key element is also still the quality of data. We heard today that some companies in B2B have 10 million, 20 million, even 50 million products online. So it's really the challenge about how to put the ranking and how to actually, show the right product at the right time to the right customer and really leverage one-to-one personalization. I think that is, across everyone here today, really the key takeaway that people are looking into. Yeah. Oh, very good. So I like really the openness and transparency of everyone participating today, really sharing what they really care about, what keeps them awake at night. And it was a good expertise of good people knowing what really matters, also what they think they can improve and what's challenging for them. So overall really good event. It's also not the first Copperberg event, so we're looking forward to more.
Coming up, we have Arno Ham, Chief Technology Officer at Sana Commerce, who will let us in on the perspectives shared during the roundtable he led, focused on why the best technology is nothing without adoption. This is then followed by his reflections on the value of deep and detailed conversations on B2B e-commerce.
Yeah, we talked a lot about adoption, so adopting a B2B e-commerce platform, for example, and a lot of information was shared around that. And the main or the key takeaway there is that there is still a long way to go, because Gartner was predicting that by 2025, which is this year, 80% of the let's say transactions would be on digital channels, right? But the reality is, talking with the audience, that they are averaging between 15 and 30% roughly, so that's still far away from 80%. And adoption is one of the hurdles to get to that, to these numbers, right? So that's around internal adoption. So we share tips on how you can motivate your sales force, for example, to adopt a B2B e-commerce platform, as well as external adoption and what hurdles you can be and how you can overcome that. I think it was a fantastic event. It was great to have these roundtable sessions that you can really talk in a lot of detail and in quite some time on B2B and deep B2B e-commerce topics, right? And we at Sana, we are the platform that's engineered for B2B, so we are addicted and we really love to talk about B2B and all the challenges that come with it. And I think that is amazing that an event as this can facilitate that.
Next, we have Simon Poy, Senior Strategic Consultant at Pros, who will share what went on during his roundtable discussions about strategies that can unlock e-commerce potential and pricing and selling optimization. Listen in as he also shares his overall impression of the event.
Yeah, so we presented kind of the value realization of pricing and sales optimization for e-commerce. So for us at Pros, we see the value realization as how can my prices work best in the marketplace that I'm presenting them, and how can I make sure that the prices are going to be delivered in a real-time and almost instantaneous way for my customers. So I really like the Copperberg events. They're really intimate and everyone's always very talkative, and we hardly need to prompt any questions. We just mention a topic and the whole circle and the whole group is always very open to share any ideas.
And to round things out, we have Vincent von Hellemont, Client Director at Vaultec. He presented insights from Copperberg and Vaultec's annual report, The Voice of Digital Leaders in Manufacturing 2025. This was the 4th edition of the report, and in this clip, he talks about the key themes he shared and why these peer-to-peer conversations are so critical for leveling up in B2B e-commerce.
Today we've launched the 4th edition of The Voice of Digital Leaders in Manufacturing, and it is awesome to see again what the state of digital is in this specific industry. And we see mixed emotions this year, and it's nice to see that in this event when talking about the state of digital, but also see that in the results that we've presented today. Some examples what we see in the results are how the importance of customer experience in this industry, the importance of data and AI and how to create a foundation in relation to it, and the importance of setting up a stable technology. Today's event was again full of insights, but above all, this format that Copperberg hosted here is a format where everybody shares insights and advices with each other. And I think this is a super low-hanging or quick step-in event that helps everybody get to the next level in their own e-commerce journey or digital journey. Super fruitful for us, super fruitful for participants, and a lot of energy we got out of it. Thanks for that, Copperberg.
And that's a wrap on our recap of the eConnect 2025 Power of 50. If there was one big takeaway from this edition, it's the conversation around how AI will shape the B2B buyer journey and what needs to change to move past legacy thinking and get those quick wins that build confidence to scale. I'll leave you with one of my favorite lines from the day. Kathy Miller, Global Head of E-commerce at TVH, summed it up on the panel with, "Don't boil the ocean." A reminder that it's better to start small, focus on the right things, and build momentum. Another key point that really stuck with me was the importance of good data. Preparing a solid data set is critical, the backbone, but so is understanding that a B2B online ecosystem will always need human input. Expert consultation that adds context and makes purchasing more bespoke and consultative. After all, in B2B, there are often multiple stakeholders to convince. As we end this and look ahead to the 2026 edition, I'll leave you with 2 questions to think about. Number 1, what incremental steps are you taking to improve your B2B buyer journey? Number 2, what critical insights from the discussions are you putting into action? Thanks so much for joining me today. If you want to continue learning and stay on top of B2B e-commerce, service, and aftermarket trends in manufacturing, head over to our website, copperberg.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates. Once again, thank you for being here, and until next time, bye for now.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please like or follow us from wherever you're tuning in from. Got a topic you'd love us to cover next time? Or maybe you're itching to share your own insights as a guest? Drop us a line at podcast@copperberg.com. We'd love to hear from you. This is Copperberg Conversations on Manufacturing Matters. Until next time.